Hi, Studio 2D students. It's Mr. Campbell. I know I'm not here. You're the in-person learning for today, Thursday the 17th, but I don't want that to slow up our progress. We want to keep up with the other class. On the last day that you were drawing in class, we were concentrating on contour lines and blind contour lines, getting into the contour line, the details, the curves, the line that makes up the outside without really paying any attention to proportion or kind of relationships on the whole. Just kind of looking at that coffee cup or trophy handle or sneaker and looking at the winding curves of the object. Now we're going to look more at the larger picture of the object, getting the proportions right with what I call a block in, with some straight lines, and kind of dealing with the large forms first and the smaller forms second. I even have a sign up in the room here. If you were in the room, it'd be really clear, okay? When drawing, number one, sketch lightly, okay? And number two, large forms first. So you're gonna let that kind of drawing of the object or objects slowly emerge. Think about like a sculptor taking a large square piece of marble and chopping into it until they start to find and refine those smaller forms. And that's how we're going to work today. Okay, so you'll want to grab one of the objects on the table by you. I'm going to deal with this pencil sharpener here, and a piece of paper from your folder. If you don't have a piece of paper in your folder, I have a couple of extra papers over here. You might need to grab a new one today. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the larger lines of that object. So I'm looking and I can almost move with my hand and figure the outside edge of that sharpener will be over there, and the angle of the front of it is there, and then the whole board is sort of like that, and then the back of it has a bit of an angle to it this way, and then I'm going to find the top of that curve, and then I think that the chord fits more in that space. Okay. So what happens is I'm more looking at the whole kind of big, sketchy, boxy shape of creating that block in of the entire space that the sharpener is going to take up. Then I might start to refine some of the things inside, about where is the top of that, and here's where it turns the corner. I think this needs to be actually quite a bit longer, and it's okay. It's okay to make new lines and make mistakes. These sketchy lines that will exist behind the drawing itself, they're searching lines. They're a good thing to have on the page, and if you do them lightly, you can always sort of take them away after and have those greater lines emerge. So this seems to have a little bit of an angle. Now I can start to do some of those smaller forms, like how down there that sort of rounds, and that sort of comes in, and that has a bit of an angle, and a bit of an angle, and this will come sort of straight down, and then there's another level to it. This follows this line here, and I'm having this whole I'm having my internal dialogue externally. So you're listening to what I'm kind of saying to myself as I'm drawing it. And you should have that same internal dialogue going on. Ooh, I don't like the way that line looks. I don't like the way that line looks. I don't think I brought that back far enough. This is here, and this is sort of round, and this is sort of round. This comes out from the middle of that, and then has an angle up. That's more like where that is. And then this gets a little rounded. I can imagine a center line dropping through this, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that center line through that, because that's what I'm going to spin that sharpener circle off of, and then have this round out of it. And I'm kind of feeling for it and feeling for it. This is going to round out of that. This is going to kind of turn that corner down. This has a bit of an angle to it. Okay, I'm talking to myself. I'm blocking it in. I'm picking away, and I'm kind of starting to develop that line. All right. Those sketchy lines I can take away eventually, or I can keep there. And after a while, and after a lot of work, almost a whole class period of work, I might have ended up developing something more along these lines. And I'm getting ready to jump into the cord and the plug. Okay, so that's going to be a lot to work on. What I want you to do is I want you to try 2 drawings today. Use the block in, start big, sketch lightly, find your way into those lines that you're really happy with keeping. On one piece of paper, draw one of the objects from your table. On a second piece of paper, I want you to put 2 objects next to each other and overlapping, and then do the block in for the whole kind of multiple object drawing and find your way into the line. So you'll work on 2 drawings today. Your goal is to come out with line drawings of 2 of the objects on your table together and a line drawing of 1 of the objects. So first start with 1, and then for a second drawing you could do 2 or more, right? If you have time. If all you did for the whole 50 minutes you're going to be working is really draw that one thing, I'm telling you, I could easily spend 50 minutes on this sharpener and that cord and that plug, getting the lines just right. I already probably spent about 35 minutes on it, and I only got it that far, because we're really working about erasing and refining and getting something that we're really happy with. Because the next step in class will be, we're going to do value scales, and then we're going to start pumping light and shadow, light and dark into that. So just concentrate on blocking it and finding the line. Don't get into shading yet, all right? And that's all you got to do. Have fun, sketch lightly, make mistakes, change the direction you're going in. You had a line here, actually, no, that's not wide enough, that's not wide enough, that's not wide enough. The wonderful thing about graphite, it gives you the opportunity to try, fail. There are only so many times in a day when you can fail miserably and just redo it. And this is one of them, while you're practicing looking and blocking that thing in. Okay? Have fun, and I will see you in the next class. Bye.